Okay guys, I'm just really quick going to show you how to add and subtract mixed numbers when we're using fractions. So I'm going to use problem B1. It says Betty buys spices for her famous cake. How many ounces of spice does Betty buy? So if we look at our handout, we can see Betty's cake spices, and we're going to add up all of these fractions, okay? So we have 1 1/8 plus 2 1/2 plus 2 5/8 plus 5/8, then plus 4 1/4. So when we're adding all of these, we always want to get this back to all of our numbers having a common denominator. Grab some different colors here. So when we do that, we want to turn our mixed numbers back into improper fractions. So we're going to multiply the bottom and add the top. Okay, so we'll say, what is 8 times 1? And 8 times 1 is 8. And then what is 8 plus 1? That's 9. Okay, and then our denominator is going to stay the same as what it was in our mixed number. So we'll stay the same. It will be an 8. So 1 1/8 is actually 9/8. This is the improper form of the fraction. This is the mixed number form of the fraction. So we're going to go through all of these fractions and turn them in these mixed numbers and turn them into improper fractions. So times on the bottom, plus on the top. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And then our denominator stays the same as it was up here. It's a 2. So 2 1/2 turns into 5/2. We're going to multiply and add on the top. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 5 on the top is, 16 plus 5 is 21/8. Okay, so 2 5/8 is the same as 21/8. Okay, we've just turned it from a mixed number to an improper fraction. A 5/8 is really nice. It's a normal fraction, so we can just leave that one alone. And then 4 1/4, again, multiply the bottom, add the top. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. And we leave our 4 at the bottom, okay? So now we've got all of these fractions that don't have whole numbers anymore. What's up, y'all? Just doing a little video. And so we're going to try to find a common denominator for all of these. We have 8, 2, and 4. So we want to find the least common multiple for 8, 2, and 4. So we know that that is going to be 8. So I go ahead and go through and put all my denominators down.
Lauren, let's go. You're 2 minutes late already. Let's go.
Better hurry, girl. So,
Go.
I asked, what did I do to this 8 to get this 8? So we multiplied 8 times 1 to get 8 on the bottom. So whatever we do to the bottom, we're going to do to the top here, okay? So 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, and make sure we can see that. Okay, so here, the denominator was 2, and we changed it to an 8. So what did we do to 2 to get to 8? Well, we multiplied 2 times 4 to get 8. So we did that to the bottom here. We have to do it to the top as well. So 5 times 4 is 20. And then, again, to get from 8 to 8, we multiply times 1 on the bottom. So we do the same on the top. 21 times 1 is 21. 8 times 1 gave us 8 here, so again we do that to the top as well. So 5 times 1 is 5. Now what did we do to 4 to get to 8? Well, we multiply. We know 4 times 2 gives us 8. So if we did that to the bottom, our denominator would get 8. We also have to multiply by 2 on the top. So 17 times 2, that's going to be 34, right? Yeah, 7 times 2 is 40. Yep, 34. Okay, so now we have these common denominators. Now all we have to do is just add all the numerators. Our denominator and our answer will stay the same. We don't say 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. It's just 8. We leave it the same. Okay, so 9 plus 20, we'll add our numerators. 9 plus 20 is 29. 29 plus 21, that's going to be 50. 50 plus 5 is 55. And then 55 plus 34, use your quick math. 55 plus 34, that's going to be 9 and 8, so 89. Okay. Now we have an improper fraction, and we want to simplify this. We want to turn it back into a mixed number like these were up here. So to do that, this just turns into a really simple division problem. We'd say 89 divided by 8. Okay, this fraction line means divide. So 89 divided by 8. Well, I know 8 goes into 89 11 times, 11 whole times, which is 88, right? 8 times 11 is 88. So when I subtract 88 from my numerator, that leaves me with 1. 89 minus 88 is 1, and my denominator stays the same as it was there. So 89 eighths is the same as 11 and 1/8. And then we want to put our ounces on there because we want to make sure we have our unit, okay? So your answer to B1, how many spices did she buy, is 11 and 1/8 ounce. And that's also how you add mixed numbers. Always turn them back into an improper fraction, okay, by multiplying the bottom and adding the top. And then once you get your fractions all in the same format, you can work on finding the common denominator by finding the least common multiple of all of these different denominators, okay? And then just add your numerators, and then turn it back into, simplify your improper fraction back into a mixed number if you need to, okay? So that's adding. And you do the same thing for subtraction. Some people said, well, Ms. Helen, can you just take the whole numbers out on addition and add those and then go back and work with common denominators on your fractional parts? Yeah, you can, and it works that way with addition. The reason I don't is because it doesn't work with subtraction, and I like to keep it straight in my mind. I like to do the same thing for both, so I don't get confused on, oh, what do I do? Whenever, like I'm in the middle of a test or really need to figure out this problem and don't have help. So I do the same thing for addition and subtraction. If you like to do that on addition, that's fine. Just remember, it doesn't work for subtraction. So if we look at a problem like on E1, we have 3 1/6 minus 1 3/4. Of course, you're going to have other instructions up here, so do those as well. Write your story and everything. But as far as solving it, we have 3 1/6 minus 1 3/4. And we want to know, what does that equal, right? So again, we're going to turn these into improper fractions by multiplying the denominator times the whole number, and then adding that answer to the numerator, okay? So 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. And we leave our denominator the same. It stays a 6. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And we leave our denominator as a 4. So we've got 19 6 and 7/4. And we're going to subtract those. So we have to find the common denominator because they're not the same right now. We want these to be the same. Okay, so 6 and 4 both have the least common multiple of 12. So I go ahead and fill in my denominators because I know they're going to be the same across the board. So 6 times what gave me 12? Well, I know 6 times 2 is 12. So if I had to multiply it times 2 on the bottom, I have to multiply it times 2 on the top. Okay, and then 19 times 2, well, we know 9 times 2 is 18. 1 times 2 is 2 plus the one we carried. It's going to be 3. 4 times 3 gives us 12. So if we had to multiply by 3 on the bottom, we have to multiply by 3 on the top. 7 times 3 is 21. So 38 minus 21 will give you your numerator in your answer. Okay, so 8 minus 1 is 7, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So 17/12. Then this is an improper fraction, meaning we have a bigger number on top of a smaller number. So we want to convert that back to a mixed number. That's simplifying our answer. So 12 will go into 17 one whole time with 5 left over. And then our denominator just stays 12. Okay, so 1 5/12. So that is how you add and subtract mixed fractions. I always multiply the bottom, add the top, get them into a numerator over a denominator, and then find those common denominators and solve. Okay, now for the problem like on number 2, F2, it says to find an algorithm, and it says an algorithm is a plan or a series of steps for doing a computation. So I had the same plan or a series of steps for solving an addition problem and a subtraction problem with mixed numbers. So just explain the steps for solving an addition problem and a subtraction problem using mixed numbers. Explain to me, like if I were to tell somebody how to do this, what would I teach them? What would be step 1, step 2, step 3? Be very detailed and very descriptive, and then show how you do that. Okay, and then we'll share those in class on Monday.